said she won't do chores for a few days," she complained.
"What? Who do you think allows you to live here? Acting all defiant."
Brian shouted at me without even asking why. "No, it's not like that. My mother died, and there are things to take care of, so I can't do it."
"Don't be ridiculous. You're putting our household second to that? You're the daughter-in-law in this house now, so cut ties with your own,"
Brian yelled, grabbing my collar. "What the hell?" I said, finally speaking my mind. Nobody cared about my mother. Nobody asked if I was okay. I knew they wouldn't, but losing my mother made their coldness sting even more. I decided then and there. I was getting a divorce. Why hadn't I realized this sooner? My mother would be saddened to know I was living with such people. She always wanted my happiness, and I was far from happy. My mother would never be happy with this. As I was about to say I wanted a divorce, Angie, my sister-in-law, had come down from stairs and said, "Then I'll cut ties too." At that time, I found Angie difficult to deal with. She knew how Brian and my mother-in-law treated me, but never intervened or spoke to me much. She wasn't there for our wedding introductions because of club activities, and though she attended the wedding, we only exchanged a few words. She often stayed silent at dinner and retreated to her room. I couldn't figure her out and assumed she looked down on me like the others. But here she was, saying, "Then I'll cut ties too." Brian, my mother-in-law, and I all exclaimed, What?" in unison. It was the first moment we were all truly united. "Angie, what are you saying?" my mother-in-law asked. "Didn't you just say something like, if you're the daughter, cut ties with your own?" "I said daughter-in-law, not daughter. I never thought of Lucy as my daughter." "Oh, I misunderstood. I thought you were talking about me." "I would never tell you to cut ties with us." "Okay, well, maybe I'll just leave anyway," Angie said nonchalantly. "What?" my mother-in-law gasped. Both Brian and my mother-in-law were stunned. They thought it was a simple misunderstanding, but Angie talking about leaving shocked them. I felt the same. "Why so sudden?" my mother-in-law asked, flustered. "Because the way you treat Lucy is too much," Angie said. Brian and my mother-in-law looked dumbfounded. I was stunned that my sister-in-law, who I had issues with, was standing up for me. "Since before the wedding, you've been treating her like a worker, not a bride." You were nice only until she couldn't leave, then treated her horribly. I thought of telling Lucy when she came to the house for the first time, or even at the wedding, but I didn't want to be scolded by you two, and Lucy wouldn't have believed me without trust between us. But it's been eating at me, and seeing how badly you treat her made me hate this family. Lucy, I'm sorry. That's why I avoided you," Angie confessed. Her sudden confession made me understand. She had been stuck between her family and me. I smiled at her clumsy kindness and said, "It's okay, Angie. Thank you for caring. If this was a workplace, you'd be fired for this kind of treatment, you know. This is non-compliance," Angie pointed out.
"What?"
my husband and my mother-in-law exclaimed. "Oh, hush. You don't give Lucy any breaks and make her work non-stop. You degrade her character and constantly berate her. It's a storm of violations that would make the news. Just because it's a family and not a company doesn't make it right. This is outdated behavior." "But when I was young, my mother-in-law treated me the same way." "And you hated it so much you got divorced. Why repeat it? Are you stupid or something?" Angie asked bluntly, and her mother was speechless.
"Angie, maybe you're too young to understand, but a wife serves her husband's family."
"And maybe you're too old to understand that nobody wants to marry someone like that now. Lucy married you because you pretended to be nice. She'll leave once she sees the real you saying bye-bye." She waved her hand dismissively, making me laugh. "Right, Lucy?" You've probably already decided to leave him, haven't you? I was startled by her sudden question, but I nodded quietly to her question. Yes, I've decided to divorce him, I said.
How dare you talk about divorce when I married you?
He raged. My words made my husband lash out, calling me useless and saying I couldn't live alone. Don't you think you should feel lucky to have me? Just as you chose me, I chose you. We should be equals. I glared at him. Exactly, Angie agreed. Brian fell silent, unable to argue. Brian, stop her! We need a new servant if she leaves. My mother-in-law urged.
I think it's too late for that,
Brian said weakly. What? She said, shocked.
No, yeah, maybe I was wrong. I realize now Lucy chose me too, making me her husband.
Since our marriage, he had become more assertive, but he had always been a kind, somewhat timid person. Being at his mother's house gave him strength, but my challenge broke him, and he quickly shrank back. The confident man from moments ago was gone, and his voice grew softer.
Mom said a wife should serve her husband's family, but Angie's right. Mom got divorced because of that. I was stupid to believe that's how it should be. I never wanted to mistreat my wife. So I guess this is brainwashing.
How dare you call it brainwashing? My mother-in-law fumed, but Brian didn't seem to care.
Because of you, I'll be divorced,
he accused his mother. She shot back. You followed my lead. Watching them bicker, I said firmly, I'm leaving for my mother's and then my parents' house. I'll send the divorce papers. They tried to stop me, but I ignored them. Only Angie saw me off with, Take care, Lucy. Brian repeatedly tried to visit my parents' house, but I refused to see him. Even if my husband didn't agree to the divorce, the law would protect me, and I wasn't afraid. Once I decided on the divorce, nothing could change my mind. Eventually, he signed the divorce papers. My mother-in-law frequently harassed me, saying, Why did you divorce my son? So I went to the police. After numerous apologies, she finally stopped showing up. I didn't ask for any specific measures. I just told her, I've talked to the police. That alone made her panic, and after daily apologies, I told her she was being persistent, and she stopped coming, likely fearing another report. I wasn't in danger, and reporting her wouldn't have helped, but it worked out. I got a job at a call center near Angie's university, and we became close, meeting for coffee. Brian moved out, blaming his mother for his misfortune. Angie planned to leave after graduation too. It seemed my mother-in-law would be left alone, but Brian had his own trouble. He got engaged quickly after meeting a woman at a matchmaking party, but it turned out she scammed him out of $100,000. The scam was elaborate, and despite seeming like a classic marriage scam, it wasn't legally considered one. The money he gave her was seen as a gift, so he couldn't claim he was swindled. I also sued him for emotional distress due to his verbal abuse. Given the short duration of our marriage, getting significant damages was challenging. Still, I sought out a tough divorce lawyer and secured compensation. Through legal fees meant it wasn't profitable. It was a token of my effort. I wanted proof of my struggle and victory no matter the amount. Beating my husband was enough. He lost everything to the scammer and ended up penniless. Serves him right. 3 years ago, I met a man through a friend. We both have been divorced and have a good relationship. Will we marry? I've learned that marriage isn't necessary for happiness. We're happy as we are, though we might marry someday. For now, I enjoy my independence and deepening friendships at work.
I love you no matter what, Lucy,
he says, and that's enough for me.